This is the Canon CP-200 dye sublimation printer. I've seen online some people calling it a thermal printer. It's not a thermal printer. It uses 3 layers of coloured dye to build up a actually photographic quality print. In this video I'm going to actually demonstrate this actually running and printing a photograph. In the front, this is where the paper cartridge goes, which is this, and it's like a pack of cards, because it prints out like it is an actual photograph on photo quality paper. And the side here is where the cartridge for the actual ink goes. So the ink is actually on like a tape, and it rolls this through and rolls through the 3 different colours onto the actual paper itself. Then there's the power supply in the back, 24 volts, which is unusually high voltage for a peripheral for a computer. And then this side is the interface, so you've got USB. I think this is a direct print interface where you can plug in a camera or something and print directly from the camera. But it's really neat little package. But there's a problem with this printer in that it kind of becomes obsolete, because this is the driver disk that you get with it. So Windows 98, it's got Mac and 2000 XP. But as the actual Windows versions increase, they stop making the drivers for it. So unless you've got an old-fashioned Windows like Windows 2000, which is what I run it on, then you can't really run it. And but of course it makes sense not for Canon not to make drivers for the latest Windows operating systems, because they want to sell a more modern printer, and I think you probably can get more modern versions of this, probably with drivers which actually suit the more recent Windows. But what that means is it basically this, and that you can't really sell it, because unless someone's got an old-fashioned Windows on it, then no one's going to want to buy it. So this is the packs of actual card that you get with, well, you get like a samples set with it, and then you have to buy these extra packs. And this was, again, like I say, back in about 2000. It was $12.99 then. And on eBay you can still pick them up for around the same kind of price. I don't know if they're still producing them for modern printers, or if they've stopped producing them. And you get this in a pack, so you get like the dye cartridge, and then a pack of these cards which you print on. So I've got a couple of packs and 1 spare cartridge left over, and you put the cards into this carrier which plugs into the front of the printer, and it flips up on that side, so you can just like put the cards in there, and it produces really photographic quality prints. So this is basically like a photograph. But it came out just as digital cameras were becoming a bit more popular. There was only really basic digital cameras up until the point where kind of this came out, and I think storing photographs digitally probably made these less desirable and probably don't sell as well these days. So I'm going to do a print, and I've got my Asus 5WF here, which is quite an old computer. It's got Windows 2000 on it. I've got some images to actually print, and I'm just going to print one of these. I'll send it to the printer, and I have to select which printer because I've got a few printer drivers installed. Then you can select how you want to print it and just click next, and it goes off to the printer, and the printer takes a couple of seconds to think about it. So it sends the paper first of all through to the back of the printer. You can see it coming out the back there. It waits, and it sort of composes the image. It breaks it down into 3 different sort of layers, and the first layer it will print, which will start any second now. It comes up with the yellow layer first, so it does it in the primary colours for printing. You can see the yellow section coming through. Then it'll take it back through to the back of the printer again, and it feeds it through again, but next it puts the magenta layer on. And the mechanics of this printer must be pretty accurate, because it places the colours on top of each other without any blurring or around the edges or anything. It's really good quality print. And the third time it goes through, it's the cyan layer. And when it comes through now, it will actually look like the actual image itself. But it'll actually do another pass as well and put it through a fourth time. This puts like a clear coat on top, which is a protective coating, sort of protects the ink, stops it from smudging or getting wet and smearing at all. And then I'll bring it up to the camera and I'll show you what it looks like. So it feeds it out there. And so it comes up with a really good photographic quality print. And on the back of the actual paper, it's got like a postcard. So you've got a place where you can put an address, a stamp, and you can send it through the post. So if you were on holiday, you could take a photograph of yourself somewhere and actually send it back to your family, a photograph of you on holiday.